Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mr. V. Welcome back from vacation. Got a great, exciting learning session ready for us today. I'm just gonna spend some time going over the materials that are assigned for phase 2 of this distance learning. So behind me, you can see I have my agenda, but without a document camera, it makes it very hard to go over. But before we do that, I'm going to keep things going with a little bit of music. So hopefully this plays, and I hope everybody out there is having some fun and being safe. So I'm going to actually present my screen because I think at least I can play the music from my presented screen. We'll try it now. Let's see. All right, my entire screen is presented. Hope everybody out there is safe and having some fun and enjoyed this great weather that we had last couple of days. So here we go with the music of the day. And with that being said, welcome back, Doran, 7th grade. That's a classic hit there from the television show Welcome Back, Kotter, which starred, surprisingly, a very young John Travolta, who you might recall from such films as Grease and Saturday Night Fever. So before we begin, I'm going to get into that agenda as I promised. So I'm going to do my best to show you guys this using the camera on my laptop. So it's going to move a little bit, going to get a little bit blurry, as my optometrist might say. And hopefully you guys can see this pretty well and safe at home. You can see it says, welcome back, students. Today's agenda, it might be projecting backwards, at least that's the way it's showing on my screen. But regardless, I'm going to talk you through it. So today's agenda, we're going to be, got a quick welcome message, which I obviously already did with some great music as well. We're going to review the Fall River Public Schools Continuity of Learning Plan. I'm going to show you guys how to navigate those materials. We're going to review the pacing guide, and then I'm going to introduce the new class website, as well as show you guys my new YouTube channel, which I started up during vacation, uploaded all of the videos we've compiled thus far, and added them all to our class website, which is really, really cool. I think you guys are going to like this website a lot, especially when it comes to your ELA materials. So on my class website, we'll review the homepage calendar, the distance learning tab, and instructional video tabs, as well as something I just added this morning, some additional resources to help you guys with your learning at home. And then to close things out today, we got a little closing message. We'll reinforce, the importance of our communication, at least, how that works two ways. And then, of course, get into our iReady usage and go over that, and as well as an overview of tomorrow's learning activity. There'll be nothing covered today in particular in regards to this new learning packet. Today is just going to be about setting expectations and going over the different materials that you guys are required and expected to complete. So with that being said, going to get back to our learning. As you can see, got my little mini classroom here set up. Gonna get things going again here by first starting. Let me close the YouTube music. You know what? We'll play that as an outro today. Really liking that song from that television show, the great show, Welcome Back, Kotter. That totally premiered way before Mr. B was born. Just a quick rundown of that television show. It's about a teacher who returns to the school that he went to in high school. He returns this time as a teacher, and he is in charge of a group they call the Sweat Hogs, which he used to be a former Sweat Hog, which is a group of kind of ruffian male students. And he has a lot of fun with his humor. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Mr. V in the classroom as far as, how we work together as a group. All right, so we're going to present my screen now. Say peace out for a second, but again, you guys will see me popping up in the little side stream there. All right, so you folks can see my screen at home. So to begin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Florida Schools website. Okay, so the Florida Schools has, again, introduced a second phase of digital learning, which is going to last from April 7th through May 4th. Now, again, I'm assuming most of you out there have not had an opportunity to grab a physical copy of the packet. But again, if you'd rather, again, you have technology at home and you can log in and you have that ability, you can access all of the learning materials right online on the Florida Schools website, which might be a little bit confusing. So you'll see with my webpage, I actually simplified things a lot, at least just for my 7th grade class. But I'm going to go to the continuity of learning plan. So again, we're on the Florida Schools homepage. You scroll down to where it says continuity of learning plan. All right, you're going to select that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to middle school 6 through 8 resource. And what this is going to do, it's going to pop open a Google Drive folder. And in this Google Drive folder, you'll see that everything is outlined for you. I believe it shows phase 1 and phase 2. You're going to want to make sure that you select phase 2. It's just taking a minute here to load. Again, all people in my household are currently using the internet for learning purposes. So if things get a little bit wonky today, I do apologize, especially with the audio. I noticed in my first video after uploading it to YouTube that the audio is really choppy for almost 20 minutes. So hopefully I fixed that issue with my headset here. All right, so once you're on the middle school 6 through 8 resource, again, you're going to want to go to phase 2. Then you're going to go to middle school 6 through 8, ELA, April 7th to May 4th. And what that's going to do is that's going to open up to 3 folders, okay? You have the word generation units here, which is the required work. Then you have an option for ELA iReady at home packets, which are some of the lessons I had reviewed last time. This time they're making those iReady lessons, at least the physical copy packets, optional. Okay. And then you also have a folder here for support for reading at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the required work, the word generation units. And what I did this morning is I actually emailed these out to everybody. So everybody has a copy of these word generation units. So once you've clicked on word generation units, you'll see that it says ELA 7 word generation units. You're going to click on this. And then you'll see the units are outlined. You have 2.04, 2.05, 2.06, and 2.07. Okay, we'll be starting with at least my instructional videos with 2.04. Just makes sense to go in that sequence of, obviously 4 to 7. We're going in a upwards trajectory in terms of our number sequence. So we'll be starting with lesson 2.04 tomorrow. All right, but what I am going to do is I'm just going to preview what the packet will look like. Okay. So, it has an article to begin, okay, which kind of lays the foundation for this week's issue's essential question. Okay. So for the question that we'll be looking at beginning with lesson 2.04, which will be our first word generation lesson, the question is, do professional athletes deserve multi-million-dollar salaries? So this first page is really just like a short article that sets the stage. And it also has the vocabulary terms that we'll cover for each lesson located at the top of the page. All right, and then you have a breakdown of all of the words for the lesson, at least the vocabulary terms. Then we have a section for math, which we will be completing as part of ELA instruction. Then we have a science-based section, which again, we'll also be using this during our ELA instruction. And then lastly, we have a debate. Okay, now the debate is the final opinion, at least stance, that you will jot down an answer to, all right? And that's what I will be grading when we come back to school, okay? So this here, this green page you'll see is kind of like an outline section, choose your position or create your own. Over here it says jot down some notes to support your position during the discussion or debate. And then lastly, page 6, what you see here in yellow is where you will write your constructed response to the essential question from the article. And again, we're not going to get into this today. I don't think that many of you out there have these packets in hand yet, or you know, have any idea, honestly, what you're supposed to do with them. So we're actually going to get into more specifics about the work that needs to be completed tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to the folder that held the ELA 6, 7, and 8 word generation units. Now in here, it says support for word generation at home. So this is a little tidbit to help you with this work. Again, I'll be helping you online as well, but I know some of you guys out there, you know, you like to work independently. You might not want my help. You might not feel that you need it, although I think that all of you could use a little bit of assistance. You know, this is something that you could use to help yourself. So this is supporting word generation at home. And what this is kind of like a little article that explains, you know, some things and strategies that you can help you that can help you at home to access and make this work a bit more meaningful and also a bit more easier to understand. Okay. So again, I'm not going to go over all the specifics of this document, but again, it's something that you could use if you choose to do this work, you know, independently. This is something that, you know, maybe you want your parents to take a look at because, again, there's some tips and tricks for them to assist you as well with this work. A lot of the work with word generation you'll see is set up for discussion. So again, if I can have, you know, more students attend some of these live sessions, then eventually we could get into having some meaningful discussions around these that could then, again, assist you in writing your response. Otherwise, it'll mostly be just kind of like my opinion of the topic based on what, you know, based on what my, you know, analysis says. Okay, again, because we're all going to have an opinion about these different questions that the word generation units are going to take us through. Now, what I'm going to do is sort of backpedal a little bit. Again, this is a bit confusing using the Fall River School system here with the Google Drive. So again, I simplified all of these resources for you. But if you go here to the pacing guide in the phase 2 folder, so once you open up that phase 2 folder, you'll see this pacing guide. It breaks down what you need to complete or what you should complete. It's kind of like a suggested schedule for the day to help you to get in that routine to complete your assignments, you know, on time and get them turned in. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually get into this pacing guide a little bit later when I get into my own personal class website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to X out of this. I'm going to close the Google folder. And I'm going to have the big reveal. Okay, today we're going to, well, I should say right now, I'm going to show you guys my new school webpage. Okay, so if you're on the Fall River Schools homepage, I'm just going to go back to that. If you're on the Fall River Schools homepage and you go to Doran from the schools menu at the top, it will then open up our Doran school page through the Fall River Schools network. Now, what I've done is I've created a web page through the Fall River Schools network that is linked directly to the Doran homepage. So once you're on the Doran page, if you click on Staff Directory, you'll have a list of all the teachers that work at the school. So for you middle schoolers out there who just love to know all of your teachers' first names and you want to study them for whatever reason, they're all available right here in the school directory. But you'll see that some of these names have links. Okay, so like Mr. Baxter here, Miss Eccles, Mr. Flynn. We also have Miss Reynolds, Mr. Scott, Miss Vaseline, and myself. All right. What these links are, they're links to our personal class web pages. Okay. So that's a little bit different than Google Classroom. But again, I'll also be posting a link of this on Google Classroom. Probably if I can fix it to the top of the page somewhere, that'd be great. This way, all of you guys can just, you know, access this site through our Google Classroom, which I know all of you are familiar with as we've used it a lot in the classroom. And if you click here, this is the big reveal. We got grade 7 English language arts at the John J. Doran Community School with Mr. Viveiros. All right. So what this is a one-stop shop. okay, for all things ELA grade 7 with Mr. V. On the homepage here, you have a little welcome message here, which, you know what, I'll take a minute to read it to you. It says, welcome families to the official website for grade 7 English Language Arts with Mr. Viveiros at the John J. Doran Community School in Fall River, Mass. The purpose of this website is to provide you with a one-stop shop for all things grade 7 ELA. This site will be used to help you locate important resources that will assist you with the learning content we will cover throughout the year. I hope that you all enjoy the website, and as always, if you have any suggestions or feedback, please feel free to email me at pviveiros@fallriverschools.org. Have a wonderful day, and always remember, effort creates ability. So that's our homepage. That's our welcome message. But down here, I really want to point something out. This is our grade 7 ELA Google Calendar. Okay, so what I have done is I've created a Google Calendar, which I invited all of you to have access to. And you'll see that each day, at least during this time of distance learning, we'll have a schedule as far as when our virtual learning sessions will take place. So our virtual learning sessions will be taking place daily beginning at 11 a.m. Okay, for this week, I have scheduled Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to hold these virtual learning sessions because Friday is Good Friday, which is an observed holiday. So there will be no virtual online learning sessions on Friday. So with that being said, going to take you through some of the additional sub-pages that I've created through the Fall River Schools website. So if you click on at the top, you'll see all of the other pages that go along with grade 7 ELA. We have a distance learning page, which I'll be going over with you, the instructional videos page. We have an additional resources page, and then we also have an about page. Now, the about page, what I've done is you have a little section about me. And, you know, again, I know some of you guys have questions about my experience as a teacher and, you know, kind of what got me involved with teaching. So that's, you know, a good little read for you guys to check out. Matter of fact, I'll just click on it to show you that it works and also verify that it works myself. Oh, there's a picture of Mr. V. That picture was taken on Flag Day. We had a little ceremony up at City Hall, and the Doran School was invited. I'm not sure if any of you guys were able to attend that. I know that my 7th graders at the time did attend that event with some younger students. So you got a quick little bio here, but who cares about my life story? Let's go to the about page. Oh, look at that. Somebody joining me today. Oh, it's Marianne. Hi, Marianne.
Hi.
I'm just going over the new resources. How are you?
I'm good.
You had a question?
Yeah, it's just because I'm not able to go to the school,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know where, like, I can, like, do the work and, like, submit it to you.
Oh, so to submit your work, if you're doing your work online, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I did the, like, week 1 and week 2, but, like, the next week I can't go to the school to get the packet.
Okay, so any work that you've completed, I'm assuming you've completed in a Google Doc.
No, like, I did the paperworks.
Okay, so the paper copies, you're going to submit all of that, I believe, when we return to school is what the expected plan is. So anything that you've completed, keep that aside. And then when we return to school, hopefully on May 4th, that's when I'll be gathering those materials from you guys. But as far as the new work that was just released today, the video that I'm actually creating right now goes over how to access all of that. And I was just going over my school webpage. Are you on a cell phone? Do you have a Gmail account I could send that to?
Yeah, I have a computer. It's just that the computer doesn't have a camera, so I'm using my phone for the video.
Oh, that's fine. All right. So if you have a computer, what I'll do is I'm going to send you a direct link to this website now. I'm going over it in the video, which is just so you know, it is a live record. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the link here. Website's taking a little bit to load. All right. So I'm going to send you a direct link to this. I think I'd put it up on Google Classroom, but it'll probably be easy for you to just get it right from your email, I'm sure. Your email is 25, Marianne?
Yeah, Marianne Lewis, FRPS.
Okay. 1 second here. All right, so we got 25, Marianne Lopes at frpsstudent.org. Hey, Marianne. So glad that you're on. I know that you've been working hard. I seen you post a comment on our Google Classroom, which I wasn't sure what you were asking at first, but then I got the same question from David, and it seemed like you guys are talking about the same thing. So I'm not sure if my response had helped you get that done, but I think you were asking about some sort of organizer that was really just for like individual practice.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I just sent you the email. Just check to see to make sure that you got it.
Okay.
All right, and if you click on that link, I'll actually, I'm going to get back to the video and I'll continue going over it. Would you mind just maybe muting your microphone while I continue to explain this?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay, thank you.
How do you mute it?
You know what? I think maybe I have to do it. Let's see. Mute. All right, I think I got it, Marianne. Sorry, I hate to mute you, but I just want to make sure that there are. What I'll do is I'll pause periodically, and come back to you, and unmute your microphone in case you have any questions about the material. All right, hopefully that sounds good. So I'm going to go to the Grade 7 ELA Distance Learning page, which again, I created all of this, to benefit you guys, make everything kind of a one-stop shop. So on the Distance Learning tab from my website, you can always click here for the pacing guide, which again, I had said I was going to get into that with you guys, so I'm going to get into that first. And what the pacing guide is, again, it's just a suggested schedule. All right. So it's not like you need to follow this schedule religiously. Hopefully, again, you do follow the schedule because, again, I think it really helps to establish some quality routines in completing the work that you guys need to complete. So again, it's a suggested schedule. So it reads, the schedule below will help you keep track of your work for each day. Check off what you complete as you go. Again, I really like checklists, so this would be very helpful for me if I were in your position. It continues, we have organized the schedule to help you pace yourself, but the schedule is flexible and you can adjust as you need to. You should be doing schoolwork for about 3 hours a day. That is your goal. You can post this schedule to help remind you of your work. So I'm going to scroll down here and just take you through a sample day. Okay. So, you wake up in the morning, 15 minutes, get a little bit of pee and health going on, do some stretching, some calisthenics, jumping jacks, get outside, go for a little jog. All right. Come back. You can do math for about 45 minutes. Okay. Whatever math packet you're working on, and then give yourself a break. Okay, it's important that you guys give yourself a break, 15 minutes, half hour, whatever you feel is necessary before you jump into your ELA. Okay, so for ELA, right, you'd start with word generation day 1 and a sample full week of 5 days beginning on Monday, which would, again, I'm going to guide you guys through all of this work with our daily videos, which again, I'll be starting this day 1 work tomorrow with word generation 2.04, which is about the athletes, should they earn those multi-million-dollar salaries. And then it says your choice, all right? So you pick from a range of projects, activities, and resources. So whether that's art, technology, world languages, which again, we don't offer world languages at our school, or iReady personalized learning path lessons, so math or reading online, and then any other options, online or not. And then anytime you have an opportunity, make sure you read each day. Okay, take about a half hour. You could do a reading response journal if you'd like. Again, that is optional. Call a friend, chat about it, or talk with your family during lunch or dinner. Again, just a sample day to help you guys get in a routine of getting on task, keeping this work, at the forefront of your mind. And then also, making sure that you don't fall behind, because nobody wants to have that overwhelming feeling of being behind. So I'm going to unmute you, Marianne, in case you have any questions. Oh, okay. I guess I cannot unmute you. I guess you'd have to unmute yourself. Not sure how that would work. But if you have any questions, you could always click on the chat over here, which I'll show you, and type any of your questions there. And it actually gives me a little bit of like an alert so that I can come back and I'll check in with your questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the distance learning page that I created for you guys. And what this shows Now, after we went over the pacing guide, which I'm going to close out just so my computer doesn't start to slow down, I'm going to close out a couple of these other pages as well. So what we have is the week 1 word generation 2.04 packet, which deals with this question. Do professional athletes deserve multi-million-dollar salaries? So this is the work we'll be starting with tomorrow. All right. And if you click anywhere on this, so if you click on the picture or you click here or here, what it's going to do, it's going to open up to the word generation packet. So instead of having to go through all those loops and obstacles and everything else that you guys had to go through, you could come to my page, click on distance learning, go to week 1, bam, you have your work readily available for you. Now, I'm only posting the required work on the distance learning page, and here's why. I don't want to confuse you. And again, we need to keep in mind that not all students have access to the internet. So we cannot technically, say that iReady is sufficient enough to count as your education, because that would not be equitable or equal for all people to have access to, because some students could just do iReady and others might not because they don't have access to technology. So I'm only posting the required work on this distance learning tab of our website. All right, so that's week 1. Once we finish this unit, we'll get into this unit, which is should students be paid for performance in school? So again, there's some really cool topics with this word generation stuff, and I'd hope that you guys will join me, and I hope that your responses will be meaningful and insightful as well, because I think through word generation, we can really learn a lot about ourselves and our own personal opinions and values and things that we feel are important. So week 3, we're going to get into Title IX, which Title IX is a law that was passed by the United States government. But the question is, does Title IX promote gender fairness in sports and education? So this question is really rooted within the educational setting, which you guys all partake in. So this will be a really interesting unit when we get there. And then lastly, we'll be looking at, should the government fund embryonic stem cell research? Okay. So should the government help, provide funds to those that are researching how to use stem cells to help cure diseases and other ailments that people suffer. So some very interesting units that the district has put together. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue to kind of guide you through our learning website. Just going to take a peek over my shoulder at my agenda to see what I've covered and what I need to still cover. Okay, so we've done the welcome message. We've gone over the Fall River Public Schools Continuity of Learning Plan and their site. All right, I've introduced the class website. Going to show you now our instructional videos as well as my YouTube page. Pretty cool stuff. So the instructional videos tab will have all of our recordings from these Google Meet sessions posted here. So this video, once I'm done, I'm going to upload this here. So again, you can always check it out if you need further guidance or need to review how to access some of the materials that we need to complete for our learning. So you have access to all my videos here. There's Mr. V throwing up the peace sign. We have the Liddy summative essay review as far as in regards to structure, which I did a couple of weeks ago, as well as the lesson on analyzing point of view from our iReady lessons. So again, this video will be uploaded to this page, but it will also be uploaded to my YouTube channel. In my YouTube channel, I'm also going to provide a link to this in my Google Classroom for all of you guys to have access to. I'll probably email the link as well. If you guys could subscribe to the page, help to promote it amongst your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. And I think you guys will have fun because, again, a lot of these sessions that I'm doing alone, and you get to see me slip up. Sometimes they're funny. Maybe you like the intro music, or maybe you just miss Mr. V's mug, okay, which is my face, not exactly my mug. So whatever your purpose is, please, I implore you, I somewhat beg you guys to subscribe, like all the videos, check them out, listen to them, because I feel like they're very informative. And again, this is all in an effort to help you. And I hope that through all of this additional work that I'm doing, you guys really understand how much I miss you, how much I care about you, and how much I care about your education. So this video is taking a second to load. Not sure why. Going to shut it down because I don't want my computer to bog out like last time. So the instructional videos page, again, has access to all my YouTube videos. And then if you click on additional resources, this is where you can see all of the additional resources that we have, I should say, for our 7th grade English language arts class. So we have access to Google Classroom, which again, you click on this opens up the Google Classroom page. Your 7 Harvard, 7 Yale, click on the appropriate class, and it will show you today's in a moment. If you have access to technology, I really implore you guys to get on iReady, because it's just a really solid resource that will, again, provide you with lessons where they feel you need assistance. So areas where you might have gaps and misunderstandings, iReady is really targeted at filling in those gaps, and it's personalized too. So it's teaching you at your level in a way that you can understand. So if you have access to technology, get those iReady minutes in. 45 minutes a week will do wonders. Again, maybe use that as some of that free time that you have in that built-in optional, again, or suggested schedule or pacing guide. Lastly, let's not forget we have access to Quill, which is interactive writing and grammar instruction. Now, I'll be adding more links to this page. We've used things such as Common Lit. We have used Newsy LA, and anything else that I find could be beneficial to you guys. I'll be adding some of those additional resources here for you guys to check out. And that could be useful, again, during that 45-minute of self-exploration where you can pick what you want to do each day. All right. So I just want to make sure I've covered everything. Oh, the Google Calendar. Now, again, I just want to make sure that we all are aware that the Google Calendar is posted right on the homepage of my site here. Right at the bottom here. It will load up in a second. I know if you were watching the video earlier, you probably saw me go over this. But if you click on the Google Calendar, it'll open up into a window like this. And it'll show you in red our virtual learning sessions for ELA. And again, you would just click on this, which I'll click on today's. It'll load. Maybe, maybe not. Let's make sure Marianne didn't type anything into the chat that I missed. Marianne, I thank you for staying on the line. I hope that all of this is very helpful. All right, a lot of dead air right now with the Google Calendar. But again, these links to our lessons, to these Google Meet sessions will all be in your email, and I'll also be uploading the videos after we film them, okay? So I'm actually going to do is I'm going to X out of some of these other pages. I think my home page, my personal website, is actually slowing us down a bit, as I can see the circle of death up there, as I call it, just going around and around in a loop. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I got to admit, guys, despite all of this distraction and these things that are happening. There it is. So once you click on, okay, not sure why. Oh, that's right, because I went to my classroom. These moments. Anywho, as I was saying, there is a silver lining to all this distance learning stuff. We're really preparing ourselves for next year because, as you know, we're moving to one-to-one technology. So I'll be implementing, and I'm sure some of your other teachers will be picking my brain because a lot of them think like, wow, you're doing such amazing things with your web page and everything like that. How do I do that? So I'm sure a lot of your other teachers will be, picking my brain, so to speak, and asking me questions about how to set up some of this stuff. And I'd be more than happy to help them out. Again, if anybody out there, if you're just watching this on YouTube and came across it and you want to know how to set this up and you're a teacher, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out. We can set up a Google Meet session between yourselves, and I can guide you right through the process. It's not that hard, right? It looks a lot more difficult than it has to be, but Google really, is knocking it out of the park in my personal opinion when it comes to this virtual learning stuff. All right. So again, our Google Classroom is set up to show us our stream. I'm just going to click on the stream because I think that'll load faster. But again, everything's broken into categories. We're entering virtual learning week 3. All right. So you could go there and you can see my announcement for today, which is really just announcing the new packet and previewing our video instruction for today, which again, I'll be uploading this video in several places where you can access it. I'll add it to Google Classroom as well, so that you guys can, so with that being said, I'm going to kind of wrap things up here. Again, just want to reinforce, guys, you have questions, you have comments, you have suggestions, you're not sure where to get a packet, you need lunch, you need Mr. V to just, talk to you and give you a little pep talk to help you to get through all this. Let me know, and I will be more than happy to assist you in any way that I can. Again, if you're picking up a work packet or need to pick 2 for middle school students at the Doran Playground, I'm assuming that these packets after tomorrow will be available at some of the lunch sites where you guys can pick up, a free lunch packet from. So you can get a work packet, you can get a lunch from those sites as well. Or again, if you just dying to see Mr. Bradley, I know he's out there right now on the playground, 12 to 2, today and tomorrow, you can pick up these work packets in paper form. Otherwise, you can always, again, access them through Google Classroom if you have technology. And in terms of your answers, I've had a lot of students ask me, where do I put my answers? What do I do with my answers? Listen, all of the work that you need to complete, I want you to hang on to. Okay. If you're doing the work on paper, meaning like you're, maybe reading from a screen or doing the work packet, save those packets. I'll collect those from you when we get back to school. If you're doing your answers from the screen on a separate sheet of paper, save that work. I will collect it from you when we get back. If you're doing your documents digitally, again, maybe you have access to Google Docs, share that document with me at any time. Again, my email is pviveiros@fallriverschools.org, pviveiros@fallriverschools.org. Otherwise, again, all of this work will be collected when we come back from school, when we get back to school, I should say. Oh, it looks like Miss Pettinati, who I invited as a student to my Google Classroom to help maintain contact with you guys, has a little stream. Ooh, somebody else is joining the chat. Oh, it's Marianne. She just unmuted herself. Hey, Marianne.
Hi.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No, it's just I could print it out on the PDF. Because
okay, if you want to save
so
paper,
on the PDF you could print it out. So I don't need to do it on the computer.
Yeah, if you want to, Marianne, what you could do too is like instead of wasting that paper, because ink's expensive for your parents and everything. If you just want to do the work on like a separate sheet of paper, like while you're watching it on the screen or whatever, and save yourself that hassle of printing it out, you can do that. But if you want to print it out for your own needs and you feel like that's going to help you better, then by all means, print it out. Just trying to let you know you could save a little bit of dough.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed today's session. Marianne, I've been doing this thing with intro and outro music. You're probably going to think it's lame, but I got to keep you guys engaged one way or another. So I'm going to wrap it up with a little bit of music. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. You gotta love the classics. You gotta love the classics. All right, everybody. I hope everybody out there is safe. Again, you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, anything like that, shoot me a message via email on Bloom's, Google Classroom. You can get at me on YouTube now. Again, I hope you guys are all being safe and sound out there, and peace, love, and harmony to all.
Oh, Mr. V, do you want to say hi to Kevin?
Oh, before I stop, absolutely. Kevin's here. Kevin is a former student of mine. He is now a student at Diamond. I think Kevin's a senior. Kevin, you a senior now?
What's up?
What's up, man? You a senior now?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, man, I feel bad for you with your graduation and prom, but I know Diamond's going to take care of you guys. So don't you doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. You working at all through this?
No. My mom hasn't let me.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Better safe than sorry. You can always make money later on in life.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's nice talking to you, Kevin. I'm going to wrap this video up, man. You take it easy, brother.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Peace, love, and harmony. See you guys. Don't forget, been saying it lately, wash them hands. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.
That was my teacher.